the shadows, down low. You don't know what I'm going through, don't know what I'm going through. It's down low, down low. You don't know what I'm going through, don't know what I'm going.
Hey, what's going on, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? It's your boy Ace Trainer Ryan here, and today we have a draft analysis video for none other than the Bad Lombres, coached by the one and only Artisan Kane. And I really like this team. Kane kept a lot of threats from last season, and we're looking at one of them. We'll get to those in a second. I'm talking about this Aegislash right here. I think he brought this over from last season, but I'm not sure. But it's I really love Aegislash. It can do a lot of things. It can play physical or special. Personally, I like the special mixed Aegislash, which does some pretty good work with Shadow Ball and Flash Cannon, King Shield, so you can take those hits when you're not attacking, and then Shadow Sneak just for like some extra priority. Because with stance change, those defenses and those offenses will change at the end of depending on what form it's in. So obviously, even with you focusing on a special attacker here, the Shadow Sneak can still put in some work down the line. But Aegislash has some all-around pretty good moves for it. Close Combat was nice. I think it just got that this generation. Iron Head is nice for a more physical set if you want to do that. You could definitely run like Swords Dance, Iron Head, Shadow Sneak, and Close Combat for something like that. It does get Sacred Sword, which is nice. I've used that on some Deblades before. Really nice to ignore stat changes if you're going against something more annoying. Toxic ain't all that bad, because if you're sending us something that can pretty much eat up Aegislash's hits, Kane could just go for Toxic to wear them down. It's got some other decent moves, nothing too crazy. It's got some dark moves, but all in all, Aegislash gonna do probably double stab with either physical or special. It's a great Pokemon, don't get me wrong. Being able to soak up hits when you're not attacking whenever you choose is pretty sick. We do have the negative speed nature just because it benefits Aegislash to be slow. So it can go ahead and soak up that hit first and then attack, because if it was moving faster than the opponent, the opponent would actually have the chance to live, and if it lived, it could hit Aegislash in its blade form, and Kane definitely wouldn't want that. We move on to Hydreigon, and I love this Pokemon. It's very strong. 98 base speed is very, very solid. I do like it for a Choice Scarfer, special with Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse, Flamethrower, and Earth Power. But to be honest, this Pokemon could be used physical attacker too. It has 105 base attack, and it has the moves to back it up. But as we scroll down, it's got pretty strong moveset. You could see this thing Dynamax possibly with some flying coverage that it does have. You could see it set up with Nasty Plot. That's definitely something that could come your way. All in all, Hydreigon a really good Pokemon. Tailwind could be nice support Tailwind for itself or any other of its team members. U-turn is decent to get out of there whenever you need to. But all in all, Hydreigon, it's a great Pokemon. It does have a ×4 weakness to Fairy, but I feel like with Aegislash and our next Pokemon on this list right here, I feel like it's definitely mitigated. And our next Pokemon here that we're going to take a look at is Tentacruel. I love Tentacruel, it's so good. So you gotta love a grounded poison type that doesn't care about hazards. It can stack Toxic Spice on your opponent. It can rapid spin if it needs to, but also it's really fast, boasting 100 base speed and 120 special defense and 70 attack. It also gets Swords Dance, so this thing could throw up a Swords Dance and start being quite a nuisance to an opponent's team. It has different abilities that you could use with that, so maybe Clear Body for the offensive set, so you're not going to get hit by Intimidate, and then Clear Body, Liquid Ooze to maybe more of a niche like Draining set, like if you're going against a Comfey or something, you can run Liquid Ooze. But overall, a good Pokemon. Move on to Tangela next. And Tangela does the same thing pretty much as Tangrowth. I love that it's super bulky with Eviolite, so it's definitely Kane's premier physical wall. With knockoff Seed Bomb, Sleep Powder, and Stun Spore, I feel like it's got a lot of room for disrupting the opponent, as well as putting out a little bit of damage here and there. But as we move down, it's not exactly, you could use it for other things as well. I know you could use it for more of a special attacker with maybe Giga Drain or something like that. So maybe like actually probably just knock off and Giga Drain for like to take advantage of Tangela's more special attack. But also removing items with knockoff. And there's other things that you can use on this to be quite annoying. There's Pain Split to do some extra damage to your opponent. Screens could be an interesting thing we see come out. Swords Dance, this also gets Swords Dance, but I don't think we'll see it used. I mean, we could. That could be something crazy that Kane could come out with. I do believe Kane was one of the guys who brought us Sing Blunder Policy last season. I could be wrong about that. But, yeah, Tangela is a really good Pokemon. Don't sleep on it. It's basically mini Tangrowth with Regenerator. It's super good. So that's about it for Tangela. And then we move on to Alcremie, and I think this is going to be one of Kane's favorite Pokemon to use this season because I love this set right here. The Double Dance with Acid Armor and Calm Mind, Stored Power, and Draining Kiss. I remember like way back in the day, the first time I helped Brooks prep for a match, his opponent had Alcremie, and I took it to him with this thing. He was not ready, man. The Acid Armor. So you pretty much set up on whatever's in front of you. If it's a physical attacker, you click Acid Armor. If it's not, you click Calm Mind, and you just get your boosts. And with Figgy Berry, you have a chance to get your HP back up, as well as Draining Kiss to also get your HP back up. And then you just start laying into them with Stored Power. You could run Leftovers over Figgy, absolutely. That's definitely not just something you need to replace, but you could have Leftovers on something else, and that's why you'd want to go with this. But this is a great Pokemon, hands down. I love it. But it doesn't have to be the Double Dance offensive version just because I like that version. You see Aromatherapy right here for some good niche support. Encore's there too. Giga Drain could be interesting coverage for it to have. It's got Recover on its own, so to be honest, you don't even need Draining Kiss. You could just run Recover. Actually, I think I might have ran that. Like, to be honest, what else do you need? Like, unless your opponent has like some crazy Steel type or a Dark type, like, what do you need? What do you like? This thing just sweeps. But I really like Alcremie, especially when looking at its defenses. It's got pretty good Spadef, decent defense. So I mean, if you want to, you can just drain all of that from its special attack and throw it into its defense, because at the end of the day, it like once you get a couple boosts under its belt, like this thing's not dying except with a crit. So it also gets two really good support abilities for that. Aroma Veil stopping it from getting taunted or disabled or encored. So I think that's really nice for the Double Dance set. But you could run Sweet Veil to stop getting put to sleep as well, in case Kane thinks that's going to come out. But this thing also gets screen support, which is super chill. Mystical Fire, Sweet. Psychic, of course it gets its normal fairy type stab moves. I like Draining Kiss for it, but honestly with Recover I think that's better healing for it, just so you don't have to worry about the opponent when you're getting your HP back. But overall, I mean, it's got some pretty good tools to use. Sweet Kiss could come into play. Charm definitely, but yeah, I really like Double Dance Alcremie, because a lot of people don't really expect this Pokemon to come out, and then when it does, it's so scary. And I do have the Gigantamax form pulled up, but that's just to say that he can run it. He definitely doesn't have to run Gigantamax, and I probably wouldn't run Gigantamax. I mean, you could, but I mean, I figure if you have it on here, just go ahead and run it. So next up we have Buzzwole, and Buzzwole's pretty sick. It's a great knockoff switch in, great dark type switch in, and with Bulk Up, Earthquake, Drain Punch, and Leech Life, it can come in, get some good beast boosts up. Honestly, you don't have to run Leftovers. You can run something like, I mean, Buzzwole is so good. Like, you can run Band, you can run Assault Vest. All in all, it's just a really good Pokemon with some pretty good coverage moves as we look through. Dual Wing Beat for those grass types if you don't want to run Leech Life or something. Ice Punch is nice. High Horsepower, Poison Jab, Rock Slide. So all in all, you know, Buzzwole pretty sick. Pretty nice coverage, getting some good fighting type coverage, and I think Buzzwole is going to be a great Pokemon for his team, having a great Dark type switch in. And then we move on to Durant, and Durant's pretty sick too. It's fast. It's it has decent attack. So with First Impression, Iron Head, Stomping Tantrum, and Exozer, I actually really like running the Choice Band set with Swarm. You could run Hustle, which would probably be a little bit better, but Durant's actually a pretty good Pokemon. It's real fast. It does have dual type fire weakness, but I mean, looking through here, there's Tentacruel right here to worry about. Then Hydreigon probably going to soak up a fire move too, so it's not the biggest thing in the world. And he doesn't really have, well, he kind of does have a glaring fire weakness, but I mean, he has things to combat that, and he doesn't have to bring Tangela, Buzzwole, and Durant all in the same week. So as we move through, we do see Durant has a pretty good move pool. All in all, it's decent. It's not the best, but it does get interesting moves. Thunder Wave might be nice. Superpower might be nice. Stone Edge is pretty good. You know, if it wants to run Aerial Ace, it definitely could. If it wants to Dynamax, just to get this max Airstream boost, if it wants to. Superpower giving it max Knuckle. But all in all, pretty decent Pokemon. I also saw Thunderfang on this too, so that could be an interesting tech. I didn't even know it got electric moves. That's pretty sick. So as we move on to the last member, we see Barbaracle, and I like Barbaracle. It's a solid late game sweeper in my opinion. With the Shell Smash White Herb set, it did get the little buff in Liquidation. I remember before Liquidation, it kind of had to run Razor Shell, which was kind of garbage. But with Liquidation, Stone Edge, and Superpower, I feel like that's really all it needs to really put in work with the Shell Smash White Herb set. It does have to watch out being a Rock Fire type, being a Rock Water type. It's weak to a lot of stuff, but this is definitely going to help Kane's Fire type weakness. Absolutely, I think this thing quad resists, so it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid Pokemon. Gives him rocks right there. You could see a Swords Dance set maybe come out from this thing, but to be honest, you'd argue the Shell Smash is better just because it gets that speed. But all in all, pretty good Pokemon. Like, it's decent. It's not amazing, but I think for, you know, a lot of people were kind of running out of options towards the 7th and 8th round in the draft, and Barbaracle's not that bad when you look at stuff like that. So overall, what do I think this team's weak to? Well, I mean, like I said, the fire weakness is really the only thing that stands out. But with Tentacruel right there, and Barbaracle right there, and Hydreigon right there, it's really not too big of a deal. He actually has 4 Pokemon weak to fire now that I see that. That could be interesting. But I do like this team, and overall I think I'm going to give it a 7. I'm leaning on a 7.5 for it because it is really good. Actually, no, I'm going to give it a 7.5. And I'm going to say that because Aegislash is a threat, can sweep through teams. Hydreigon's a threat that can sweep through teams with Nasty Plot. Alcremie can sweep through teams. You may have not seen it yet, but believe me, it just might. Buzzwole is super threatening, can push through teams with Beast Boost, so it's very scary. Durant is super fast. Barbaracle has some great pressure to it. So all in all, there's a lot of attack coming off from this team. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. And I can't wait to see what Kane does with this. I can't wait to see if he makes it to playoffs this season. So you guys have a good one. I'll be back with another draft analysis video, and I'll catch you later. Peace.